So today we're going to work on 5 projects that take 5 minutes and you're done. The easiest things that you can do to add a personal touch to your home or for some very personalized gifts for the people in your life. I love a good candle, especially the candles from Bath & Body Works. But when the candle's done, I always feel bad about throwing the little containers out with creative lids. There are also other candle companies that have really cool containers like this. I love the lid on this one. And I like combining the elements of the glass and the metal with natural elements like this petrified wood, for instance, or these little pieces that I got in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I even like the idea of putting a wooden coaster like this and then the petrified wood on top of it. And this would be great in a bathroom for cotton balls, or even on a desk or a nightstand for trinkets, even for jewelry. Here's another coaster that I love. It combines these different elements, and glued on top of this, that would be really cool. Now today, I'm going to take a black candle lid and I'm going to put one of these fossils from Arkansas that I found on top. I think that's going to look so cool. And what I'm going to do to fill it is I'm going to make a scent diffuser out of it for my bathroom using lava rocks. Whoops, that was my phone. Using lava rocks. Now, I did buy this at Home Depot. You may not want to invest in a whole bag. IKEA also has these teeny tiny little round lava rocks that you can use for pots and stuff like that. I think that would be great. So what I'm gonna do is fill my jar with these lava rocks, just like that. And then you pour your oils all over it. Now you can also break these down, but in this case, I don't think I'm really gonna need to. And you just refresh the oil as you need to when the scent starts to dissipate. What I'm gonna do is run my Gorilla Glue on the back of my, this is something like ammonite. I don't know if that's right. Okay, so I put the Gorilla Glue on the back. I'm gonna glue this onto the top. Just set it up however I think I want it, that it looks really good. We just need to let that cure. And look how cool that top looks. And with the lava rocks in it, I think it makes a really good presentation. There you go. 5 minutes or less. In this case, much less. I love doing unique things for wall art, not always just a picture or a print. And sometimes finding platters like this can make really interesting things for coat hooks or to hang something more interesting and decorative on the wall. I found this one at a thrift store for $3.99. And I'm going to make this into a little piece of wall art with a big hook. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is mark where my hanger is going to go, just like that with my awl and my hammer. I'm going to cut a piece of wire. Let me make sure and cut this long enough. I'm going to twist this together. All right, I'm gonna get my screws started in the back here, just a little bit. Now, if I do this right, if I play my cards right, I'll twist that around. All right, there we go. There is the hanger, all set up at the back, all right? So now you've got a way that you can secure that to the wall. And the reason I did that first is because I'm going to be using this long hook that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I wouldn't be able to turn that out around and lay that flat to rig how I'm going to hang it. So just make sure this is straight up and down where you're gonna put your hook. I am going to mark exactly where I'm going to screw that in. Let's see if the pencil shows up enough, and it does. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Mark for my pilot hole. this one did not come with screws, so I need to find some screws. Pretend this isn't part of the 5 minutes. All right, so I've got my screws. Get that set up in its little pilot hole. Can hear that wood splitting a little bit, but it'll be okay. Now, because this one didn't come with screws, I don't have any matching rust screws, but I can definitely touch this up with a bronze paint afterwards. All right, so this is ready to hang on the wall, other than, of course, I need to touch that up. So I found this really cool little wall pocket, also at Hobby Lobby, and I am going to use this. Gives me a little bit of that rustic and farmhouse look, and just look how nice that'll look hanging on the wall. Sometimes little things in strategic places can make a huge difference in the overall look and feel of your home, right? So this next part can get a little messy. I'm going to go ahead and put on my work apron here because I don't want to mess up my nice Walmart tracksuit. All right, so I'm gonna make like a decorative riser or a cake stand. I love doing this for different levels in bookshelves, on countertops, and it also, of course, is great for serving food at all those smart parties. So I have my little marble piece. Love the shape of this thing. And I have my little candlestick. This I paid regular price for, but it was very inexpensive. And this was on clearance, so that was a great buy. It has a really good texture to it too. First thing I need to do is remove the little legs. And of course, these are basically just glued on, and I don't know, it seems like they use Elmer's glue wherever these things are made because they're pretty easy to pop off. So there you have it. It's sort of ready, and I'm gonna save these because at some point I might be able to use them on something. I have a hard time throwing anything away. Now, I want to rough up this middle surface where this is going to be attached because I want the glue to be able to really, really stick. So let me just make sure I've done enough. I want to wipe that down, and I'm also going to wipe it down with some rubbing alcohol. You could use some mineral spirits as well. This will make sure that you've got all the debris off of it and anything else that's kind of going to keep it from sticking. So the next thing we need to do, while that is drying off and evaporating, is get my epoxy ready. Now, I've never tried Gorilla Glue for this, but I do love the 5-minute epoxy. This is JB Weld brand. I love this stuff. It works really well, and I've used it on a lot of these different tables. The only thing you need to do is make sure, well, first off, that you can open it. They tend to sort of seal up really well. So the only thing you need to do is make sure that you're pouring equal amounts of the resin, which is this, the clear element, and the hardener. Note to self, open them both up at the same time. It's like ketchup. It's slow good. Now we're going to stir those up, mix them together really, really well. I love using little plastic containers like this because anything that you use to mix the epoxy on, you're going to have to throw out. It's not going to be something you can reuse. All right, so I think I've got it sufficiently stirred up. I'm going to start by pretty generously covering the top of this candlestick. There we go. I just want to make sure that it's nicely covered. Whoops. And now I'm going to place it on what I think is the center. That's good. All right. And I always like to go back. I'm good at eyeballing stuff, but I also want to make sure that everything falls more or less center, because if it's not, it could cause a problem for you at some point. All right. I know there was a drop on the top, but I can pull that off afterwards. So there you go. It's all set. All I have to do is wait for it to cure, and it's ready to go. 5 minutes or less, depending on how much you fumble with all of your supplies. Little end tables or cocktail tables can be really useful in all sorts of places around the house, but they can also be really expensive. So I'm gonna make one for under 15 bucks. My next project is making a little cocktail end table that you can move around the room anywhere by using this candlestick that I got on clearance for $6.99 at Burlington. Can you believe that? And this is a little rotating turntable Lazy Susan, also for $6.99. I think I got this at Burlington too. So I'm gonna glue this to this, and not only will it be a really cool little cocktail table, but it's a Lazy Susan. So somebody can put a little plate on it with their drink and not even have to move. Although that doesn't seem to work really well. It was $6.99. Okay, so my surfaces are really pretty much ready to go. I've mixed together my glue, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply all of this around the top of my candlestick again. And I just did this for my little riser platform that I made out of candlestick and a piece of marble. And this hasn't set up yet. So I'm actually technically doing both of these projects in under 5 minutes, which is really pretty good. So same thing. I'm going to just center this in the middle. Now, I could take off this whole turntable device and just use the wooden top the way it is, but why not have that little added feature? This is going to make a great gift for me because the wood tones really match my mom's home decor, and I think she'd be really happy to have another one of these, which I made one for her bedroom. But I think this will be a nice addition to the living room because she can move it around wherever she wants to. And this is ready to go. I mean, you saw how fast that was. All we need to do is let it cure just to be safe, 24 hours, and it's ready to use as is. Here's a great idea using cigar boxes that you can get for a couple of bucks at the liquor store. So, cigar boxes, I love them. You know, these by themselves can make great gifts for the manly men in your lives, but they're really good trinket boxes or boxes for a nightstand or a dresser. And in this case, I want to go ahead and turn one into a phone charging station, which I think would look really good on my office desk. But like, look, this one has Baccarat on it. This is great for a little game table type setup. That would be great for checkers, chips, pieces like that. I love this one with the black. It's pretty masculine looking, but still obviously has the look of a cigar box. This one's pretty cool too. I love those sliding components. But today I'm going to use this one and make it my phone charging station and also a trinket box for my desk. So let's get started. So So the first thing I want to show you is the legs that I'm going to use. These are little drawer pulls that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to cut them off where there's about 1/2 inch of that screw left. This can be a little tough. I've got my bolt cutters here. You can always use a Dremel for this if you don't have bolt cutters. Whoops. Slippery little sucker. All right. So I did one ahead of time just to test it out. There we go. 2. Three, just watch your eyes. You should probably wear safety glasses. And we'll just pretend we're doing number 4 since it's part of our 5-minute 5 and done challenge. All right, so my legs are ready to go. My little feet for my box. And of course, you really don't have to add feet, but that's what elevates it. And if you're gonna give this as a gift, it's a great way to say, look, I made it myself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill holes in the corners of the box very carefully. I did one as a test, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark the other 3. So I'm using my little hammer and my awl to just get the point where I'm going to start drilling. I don't want it too close to the edge, and I don't want to go too far down either. All right, that one's pretty good. Let me do the next one. And I'm sure you all know that it's always good to put a little piece of tape, maybe like some blue painter's tape, exactly how far you want to drill in. That would take extra time, which is of course why I'm not doing it. All right, so that's where my feet are going to go. Now, before I glue these on, I'm gonna go ahead and make the hole for my cord for my charger. So on the inside of the box, I'm going to put that towards the back, and this is the part that I can feed through. So I have gotten a little spade drill bit that I'm going to be using for this part. This is a 1/2 inch, which is big enough to go ahead and put my little charging cable through there. And I'm just gonna drill this in the middle. So I'm gonna pick a point here. Oh, wait, I forgot. Whenever I'm drilling, it's good to put it on another piece of wood to elevate it, and also so you don't go through your table like a goofball. Okay, we made it through. There's the hole. Let's check and make sure that this actually fits. And it does. Perfect. The next step is to glue the feet on. So I'm just going to put a dab of Gorilla Glue, but you can use epoxy glue. Gorilla Glue works on most projects really well. I'm going to go ahead and stick those feet in there. Let that overspill a little bit. That'll help secure it. Okay. Check and make sure that there's not too much overspill. Now, I am going to need to let this dry. I'm going to set it up. Just so I can show you exactly how this is going to look when it's all done. All right, turning it right side up is actually a good idea as it dries, so everything will dry straight and level. There is my charger now inside the box, and my phone will fit perfectly on there. And there's also room for some keys or some other little trinkets as well. So we'll just wait for that to dry, and it's all ready to go. 5 minutes. Beat that. I hope that today I've helped to make your home a little more personal, a little more you, and just a touch more beautiful. If you like this video, be sure and check out this next one. You're gonna love it. Now sit back and enjoy what you've created.